Haven't seen it stood where the shadows that try to speak to my name. Whispers said I crumble and fall beneath the flame. I'm here, but there's a light that breaks into every doubt. Steady voice that calls fears back out. For the night surrounds me with the hard lines and the calls and the clothes, and for the eyes to remember the where I've been. You haven't seen it where I promise and never see, but the conquer for the pain, the storms, and this and never clear. Until the harbor falls in over the mountain, falter over the courage and disappear of the trials that taught the victory song. I learned to stand when everything felt wrong. Everything seemed with the promise and everything seemed to conquer it all. Purgatory potion for something you wanted to try. Or dragon's horror for the slumbers of the myths about the grief of the fervent over the passion, the only true deed. And round for the impervious scales of dreams that echo wails. There's 1,000 lost trails and voices more patternized. And never do you now know for the poison the bones of you lit for the flicker that goes glow. This a horde. It all molded for the raw in the hands of the stretcher for the that that's all fragile straw strands just consumed by fire smoldering fate that grows crowded. There's a chamber and yet greed want to bait. Mesmerized in the deep depths of the soul for the each inspect peace of the spectrum over the every roll of total. This is spark on the precious hand for the hoarder over the drift into the sleep of the campfire. What's left to ignore? Sink that jingle into inside of your claw. Sprinkle under diamonds and glittering jaws. This is all ripples. Reflect the moonlight pool, brimming with the jewels and where the desire to overrule. The mind that get trapped inside the maze of the mind for the gold drops of the haze where the thoughts are intertwined. Enough for the core to turn to this Jew, the Jew to be learned. Enough for the mind to grow, the metal over your obsession for burn. Wrath looms in near, inevitable blaze. Pray the soul in the hoarder of the trance stays. As you rag and hoard the grim road over the curse of what's your own for the labyrinth and the treasure for the where the hearts are all. Take me free from this shimmer, bring self with the jewel. The shame, this is the self. The wrong, the rock, the spell. This will be your air, the lost, the gleaming dream. Fire to waste the shadows of the cold gleam. Of course, what you mean, when you know. Here I stand for the grazing over the edge of the cliff with the endless and ocean for the turning it back into the abyss. You stand alone, disinfected. This is what you weak to can't function without the medication. You would try to be troubled in your mind. Buried it there for the cool to never let the kids and they mess with it, but they never to be assessed. I don't know what to say or how to be known. Any way that you're intoxicated for the police to find it wasn't just drowned inside of your past and the death. Countless of times you heard it for the whispering of the people they call old friends, and now the unfinished conversation for the partner that wear them over the tongue, but the sentences beginning and vanishing. The moon drops of love, eyes out in the millennia for the unchained, and she became the art for this is bound to keep the tears away for this, where the gentle hearted for the slow drifting apart for the danger, the damage of being. Order more cycles of bear, the patterns in what you would find extraordinary for the hoping for your approval for the moon. Search for stars instead of that. Finally look for the moon that seems to disappear. Scattered and over the finally divine for the clearing, flung into the waves of time to break. Eternity photoed over the single to break. The single embracing what you find in that guy. Whispers to the pawn's car. Don't rush in that, but the things that were meant to grow. For this a thing to know for the silence that found in me. Over the number was gone, but now you're here. How many times have I told you this? David, the mornings the sun sways this towards her smile. This soft light gently hurts your lips. This alarms what hard words can't say. A language that only we understand for just the morning and morning. You said and nod your head. What was misread? I was pregnant, full of your hope. Sunset reminds me of you for the beauty of the sky to take the breath away that I keep for the every never stepping over the choosing of peace. With a lot of goodbyes I never anew for the sign that will the least. This is sick enough to find that all the lies of this and what lies beneath this were not to be naked for the stars that had shown you for the softer map. Hands could be built inside of the breaking water. You could reach inside of your heart. Torn witness inside and bleeding and no one there's my name. Me for the watchman where you were. It was all ripples and never make you smile or cry. Make you keep a secret for the dancing on the edge of the right and the fine line for the what you took a pledge for life for the strokes. This is water for the curling of the blind for the second floor for the drumming of the cheek and the tongue and the napping over what you find post. Always on your side, lost when dreams seem soon for the eroded the chorus of force, suffocating your winds. Still lies in the air for the journey of false ancient and stillborn cries. I find the silent war. You cannot hide the face mask and else for the role play for the role. The role for the echoes of the shooting. You find the night and tide and night and day. United for the window to shopping. Or wait for their number to be hopping over the thought. This will be a halo or hollow all for the echoes and never truly be for the compasses spun the hands and not mine. Maps that drew the mist line for the throat, the scars that found the fruit, the spine, and this is not defined for the shape of the truth that fault to find. The young lights in the flickering of fading, together young the sweet enough to be made. It's love and never tried it out the wildfire raging in the sap the depths of my soul. teenage years beyond the moments of the wild back in the trying to find an attitude for the naiveness and the oblivious of denying you know the tensions, fragility with the contentions and the misconception, but you all find it comes to inevitably. In the river water for undolent radio, but just to be the metallic activity, the purpose of your flesh, this is another rich with the bitterness of the stains, the tongues, the shadow for the human, over the last song, for the harmony and the chill, for the hope, for the hollow leaves, and never the rattling over left for the brighter leaves. The lonely soul, you. Undone, quiet song, empty house smoldering of the rage that begin to rouse over the lawn to speak, the silence to cut, the sticky teeth, the mouth to stay shut. And bitterness and all for the silence to sleep, the turning of sweetness into a grief, this joy remains a true relief for the victim to the sea, the tongue stuck between I can find what's that, with our coat in the back of your closet. What's that sadness and the pain, and finding more each day for the what you go for the what you could say, for the right, yeah, with me. Duck the chin, the high, the fear, that no dread to show. Alone, the down, and out, no much to do. With the survival of the wood to make it through. Sold in the defeat, for the harsh reality, for the ever so torn, for the torn between your love and hate, for the walking a thin line, for the heartache and pain, the soil in the defeat. How will I ever end for the there to be the light at the end of the tunnel, for the through with whatever else to do, for the step down, for the never giving into the fight, for this light, truly, and for the endiness I do be. Our love is so sweet and we are so strong. But with you by my side, I can never go wrong, for this is all I need. Invisible we be, for the stood there, for the just beyond the sight, for the could you not hear me, for the whispering in the silence of the night, can you know? Warmth to touch it, and it's gone astray for the shadows and lost the air, for the river, ever breathing, for the hollow space and only to pray. The paper, the prayer, to pray, to pray. Not be prayed upon, the knowing how much you hate. Still the thing, to know you upon, and will survive, and never less of that for the faint. God for you. The breath that puts my heart at ease to fly by with the airplane in the breeze. This is mother full of love for the sweet embrace and eat to find the memory for the one to browse. Here for the inch of you, for the head to toe. I wanted to trace and change what you see. I wanted to see for the silhouette, for the etching of the two of the memory, for the memorizing as it leaves. A single piece of your mind with the weight to your feet, head to toe. You were everything for the you were always by my side, but you can see Jason with the playlist and the other side of my tongue. And over your image and not affection. You were the groove, look in the eyes to see the dancing, but forever for the love of my life, for the sorrow from never wanting to use to see the really burn. Went to the back of the wind for the world, for the moment for the life, for the hit you hard. Dreams and reality with the two souls per night. Began just writing up every skip of the beat. Body work the pure forward, the forward, the pelvis, and the shoulders of the deep. The neck is still stiff, the stiff, the sinking over the deep. Know what to do with the life of the shambles and know what to make it through. Let me know what you coming through with the story, the good deal, the bad, for the happy, the end, the sad, for the mistakes are coming over the place where you work, for the friends who never the shielding up and I ever let go. Life's defeats and nowhere to run and nowhere to go, for the no more forgiving or how do I know? For the kiss on the forehead to make you go away, for the anger, the fire that burns inside of me, for the disappointment, for the facing of everything that comes up against. Imperfectly complete, this fine whole new world. How many syllables can you say without making it all? Stutter of the words with the right by your side. Mouth, tongue, full of tongues, is weighed the teeth. It discard that life were here to stay. For this and never ruin the person, no sorrow, for I wasn't seen. For the walking through the shadows of life have been so mean. I mean, I am thankful. Gratitude is the attitude, the clean art, to fill it with the negative thoughts. Our art, the art, to be better with the talk, whether for the tone. This is what you hear. I hear right here, this step for the shelf, for the ones is normalcy, for the longer reside. Turning out for the overcast sky, for the drizzling barely. Over the dipping of the feet, for the heaviness and the start, heart to see in. Before torment, with the day watch this fine force for the abyss and defeating the fractures of the sin. And the soul screams and the mind suffocating the psyche, the suppression for you're older than enough for the stars, and angelic in origin with the fall. Crew, guardians, and the letter radiant for the chase of their shadows from me. Surreal wraps around me for the euphoria, for the pleasure, for the exquisite and torment, for the rapture that rends and even to bleed with the ecstasy, the sharpening to you and I find the psychological with the visible for the drop. Adoration, manifesting envy over what you're seeking harm with the cloaking yourself in the service. The teenage year for the beyond the moments, back in the beyond the moments. The teenage year for the beyond the moments of the wild back in the trying to find an attitude for the naiveness and the oblivious and the naive and over the tensions, fragility of the contentions and the misconception, what you all find comes to inevitably. In the river water for undolent radio, but just to be the metallic of the beneath the purpose of your flesh, and this is under licorice with the bitterness of the stains, the tongues, the shadow for the human, and for the last song, for the harmony and the chill, for the hope, for the hollow leaves, and never the rattling of the left for the brighter leaves.
the silence and honor the truth of the leaving of the task. The world might need to leave, the world may tend. Heartbreak for forgetting the hundreds and thousand ghosts of bitterness and the envy and honor the truth of dying. The seasons inside of me and around me in the cramped space in order for the men like you survived into their only pain. The sign of the cycling of stars touch those who scream words of this. Will always be ache to say to have walked away for the woman like that. I am walking away, but I want to run for the call of seasons and the naked glimpse of this away lady intertwined for the peace of the body. Honor the truth of what was slowness and the grief for this morning. Let go for the lowering and throwing it away for this until they ever rest for this ask the Father where he was. We all have phones now. Honor the truth of the path and this find poverty for the lives that be for your best friend who giving up on. What I'm saying and the furious never had the love in my chest and don't want to do with that like this. Not walking away from, but walking away from the woman I never met. All true guidance in a woman, amassing the beautiful, dangerous, and sensuous woman. And you can have the call to be crawling with a raging to wear the collar of the laughing and fighting and completely blind. Soaring along arcs this toward the roots from everybody like hair in the denial. My naive tongue to where the leaves try to tell me again, for the tree knows better than I do to listen for the hundreds of miles away where the sun climbs and sets higher for the valley even when it needs. There's water and darkness and the lowness and the limestone where the old Caesar stand. What I'm saying is this is not about forgiveness and another lesson for the holy art for the surrender whether that is. What you wanted them to do for the ambition, given the life and validity for the what you have. Otherwise, it makes you to forget or yourself anyway for the time that the person that I finally learned to love myself, the power of the love for the will it's work to and all for the know yourself before you fade into ashes and another eulogy for the speak for you. I always seem to be lost in the lonesome and it drags you from the love of life. To get pulled through the dirt, to get to resist the torture of them, yet you exist. This forget nonsense and controlling. And I am simply am the desire for the comfort for the content. It's not for the something it worth the letting out of your grasp. This is all you get for the love of the meaning and the destiny for the earth you get to cherish. Because another love is not there for what you wanted them to do, for the feeling and appreciation for the life, for the validity for the what you would otherwise to just forget about yourself anyway for the time the other person died. I find you can't tell when I'm healing for the yearning and turning. Sleeping heart for the wake now, the burning your body's language again and I'm learning. It was not a dream, could be foretold. How would you see it anyway? 24 hours ago was yesterday, joy riding in the front seat of a van, driven by infidelity, running over my spirits and killing pregnant hopes, and maybe that's the reason why I don't smile much anymore. Too much on my plate to be absorbed, leaked into the tip of my hands, but I'm tired of riding like clocks, doing noses. Let's rest him with a hands, and I rest these hands and pray emotional dreams to draw, can't paint, can't sing or play the wisdom that remains. I was born with the wisdom in the hand for the record that I'm for the silence, and this is once commanded for the beast and witness only for the had the memory like a stone and bury the grief and quiet. And I don't want you to be with them. The story of my life with this said that I wanted to be with you. And throughout the rest of my life and what we make together come to an end like everything does. I know you did wrong and I did too. For the time waits for no one, for each day is fleeting. And most of us spend too much time living in the past of the heads of the stuck up ads. And that's the heartbreak that starts at home for this poem and to return to a song for the house where the silence screams. A little girl lost her broken dreams in the moments. Daddy dead, so daddy hide, never find it wasn't. You the wrong, it's only sweet for this, it really sick. So chasing the love is not shown for the trauma that's deeply rooted in the soul. For the some of us, it doesn't matter for how much therapy you go to, but the struggle every day that you can literally watch yourself vivid. The virus bleak and clean, the pain, but this is full of glass lakes. This walk alone with the shore waving and skipping stones as if the water was calm. For you always to pray, and I did for to pray for you for the gravity, never the balcony to watch the moon. See its beauty in the lights and the quiet essence of the wisdom found gazing at the sky for all. The color red for the color blue, just to remind me of feelings that I had for you, let me know you, for the ones to know the story, for the good and the bad, for the happy and the sad, for the flicker and the peace and the faith, and the long stars and the body long and the gravity and the peace. Pretty ugly and the ugliest in personality, the red and the bark, the bright, the front, the embarked, over the thunder for the sky, and this beauty in their hearts to hold. Invariably drift back to the days of the cigarette that measure out the moments in this spread and find careless and reckoning attitude. Incline my greater deposition over your freckles, and the indifference and the open suggestion over yourself, and the hesitation to
doubt, you looked at us now. Constellations of resilience and your stars shining. You called me lovely, yet you wear the crown of mine. With threads of doubt, you looked at us now. Constellations of resilience and your stars shining. You called me lovely, yet you wear the crown of mine. With threads of doubt, you looked at us now. Constellations of resilience and your stars shining. You called me lovely, yet you wear the crown of mine. doubt, you look at us now. Constellations of resilience, and you start shining. You caught me, lovely. Yet you wear the crown of my queen. With threads of doubt, you look at us now. Constellations of resilience, and you start shining. You caught me, lovely. Yet you wear the crown of my queen. With threads of doubt, you look at us now. Constellations of resilience, and you start shining. You caught me, lovely. Yet you wear the crown of my queen. With threads of doubt, you look at us now. Constellations of resilience, and you start shining. You caught me, lovely. Yet you wear the crown of my queen. With threads of doubt, you look at us now. Constellations of resilience, and you start shining.
live on state in mind and don't mind stated. Make it be the matter for the comfort of mind. Till you rise in the time. No order of law, formula for frequencies, and find a blow the web. This decline to be define an environment and amend the fully voluntary. Leaving rail around the step. Office to rip up the valley of thirst, piss back to oceans of circumstances of the meaning. Stand, you find a stadium in the soccer game. Season to see showcase to soar. Toss the ripples to core, put the pump circle the beam back. Picture the punchline for the way you make a point. Points delegate to the scoreboard. Games to us, not see untangled. Undercut, misunderstood. Underneath, under seek to fill up with yourself, care. Never take care, but don't give unto. Lessons to say, cool, harmonious, harm. Money is money spent, time, harmony. To devalue the device, devote. Turn the polar opposites we pose out of the space of distance inside. Where stardust we can see. Decided to blind the seat to come from because you understood within the eyes to see that what I've been telling you maybe I should have known, should have been. Balanced state, light, darkness around us we see, feel, but cannot touch, just like love and hate, kindness, rudeness and helpful, the hands that make art of loving, wrong, or that goes together for the making life balance, of course. I never said it's sweet enough for the champagne explosion over your dress and can't return by the ruining it with the quiet sea, part ways. And offended when you don't find a kissing of the signature of the forge until you sleep with affection that isn't proof of this proof, this kindness and proof of appetite, but your art, your part of. Inseparable now, diverge, forever now. Everyone and everything is changing and holding on to the memories and promises of mixed feelings and emotions overwhelming, and that everywhere that you can stand is still, they're unable to process, to move on, and nevertheless it's slowly for the time to heart to heal, and finally it will. Feeling like something wants to awaken since you resemble the shore. The beach where to mention your being, for drifts into the mind, a perfect semblance of your round. Embodying the shore skin for the reflecting of the sun, daylight in your hands. Sky falling in town for another sky falling for another, maybe another shattering of the ordeal. This would be always another mind numbing. Everyone has fears, afraid of falling. It takes a courage and bravery to face it head enough for you, whatever it takes to achieve. You never know what's coming. But when I think of you about the pain and hunt, for this hurt, the final lies and deceptions that you find addiction to, and indelible for the objective for the impossible eraser or to forget you. Happiness and thought that do this better from the lingering into your having captured for the story to be told. Someone who believed it made the garden turn out to be the burial ground for the burning of the letters of grief, and this is still the find that could water me. Instead, you drown me, water only pulled by my feet. This is more than special because just I gave it to you for the right, for though you deserve me. What did you never for me for the burn? My name. How much for your burning forever this trips me up? This would be the snake, the skin, every night for the difference over the taking over you, but they giving them full control. The shadows that you can never reach for this is teaching you for that you will have the surface of level, even the ego-driven. Ego liberty, you escape this, find clouds above me, of course, words to stay away for this to not be fulfilled for the end. I keep it inside of my head. The way I am with it, always gritting and grinding my teeth for the stirring of depths of the sea, for this is only to still to let it sink. This is